Hi, I'm Kerry Kirkham, and you're Sipping with the Wine Fox. With me today is 2015 Browne Family Vineyards Cabernet Sauvignon from Columbia Valley, Washington State. It is 96% Cabernet Sauvignon, 3% Petit Verdot, and 1% Malbec. It is aged 20 months in 56% new French oak, but it is 100% gorgeous Bordeaux style. I enjoyed this wine with a steak dinner. I had it steak with sauteed mushrooms and spinach and a baked potato, and it was wonderful. This is definitely a wine you want to sit down and pay attention to, ideally with a meal and with people that you really love. That helps a lot because you can share it and not feel bad about letting them drink it. You don't have to hoard it all to yourself. The winemaker's name is John Freeman, and he made a fantastic wine. This is in the mid-30s as far as price goes. I think it's a good value. One thing I found very interesting was that yeast was mentioned on the text sheet, which really strikes a chord with me coming from a winemaking background. So the yeast used for primary fermentation in this wine is Andante by Phytera, which is new to me. I'd never heard of it, but it's a hydrogen sulfide resistant yeast that's good for Cab, Zin, Syrah, Sangiovese, and Chardonnay. That's odd that you would do Chardonnay with this yeast, but anyway, regardless, it was an excellent choice, obviously, because it's a fantastic wine. When I made wine, I used to use Lafort's FX10, and when I fermented white wine, I used Scott Lab's Epernay 2. So I'm a big fan of yeast, and this is definitely a new yeast strain that I was not aware of. And yeast does matter. Yeast matters to me as much as cooperage and rootstock and clone. It is an essential part of the whole makeup of the wine. This is a wine that, this is a yeast that is a cool fermenting yeast, so I thought it was just interesting that they mentioned it. To me, that shows craft, but it's 14.5% alcohol. Very nice wine. I get a lot of blackberry. I get cassis. I get sage, like dried sage, and a really nice slate in the finish. Good acidity. I really enjoyed it with a meal, but at the conclusion of the meal, there was still some wine left, and I'm enjoying it after the meal as well. So I would recommend it for food and then after food. Really good. It is a wine that you need to sit down and pay attention to because it's quite lovely and it is complex. I find that it's good to have an aerator or a decanter just to get some air into it. Oh, the nose on it. Like that sage blackberry nose. That brambliness. Excellent. Okay. Again, that is Browne Family Vineyards Cabernet Sauvignon 2015 vintage. Highly recommended. A very good value. I've had $60 Napa Cabs not taste as good as this. It's quite lovely. A very good value. And to that, I say cheers and carpe uvum.